Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining me for the next 3 or 4 minutes. To watch this video, I want to talk to you a little bit about what I'm attempting to do with this video and a series of videos that I hope to create over the next several months. And I hope to post about 2 videos a week or so, short videos that will add value to you and encourage you in the work that you're doing in your private practice or in your place of employment, that's in private practice or in community mental health or in some other venue within the community mental health field. So the purpose of these series of videos is simply to add value to you and to talk to you about leadership and personal growth. If you watched the video that I posted on Facebook about a week ago or so about me feeling a personal responsibility to help encourage and help influence and help people grow in their leadership abilities, then you understand that this video and this other series of videos, the other videos that will be coming, are really part of what we here at Restoring Hope and what I'm trying to do to really lift your leadership lid and to help you to have greater capacity so that you can help more people and so that you can have greater influence in our community. So I want to spend in each of these videos just about 3 or 4 minutes just sharing one idea about leadership, what I've learned in my own leadership journey. I want to share that with you. And some of these ideas you may already know, but it's probably good for you and I to hear it again. And some of these may be new ideas. And so so I just want to spend, as I said, 3 or 4 minutes trying to share some of these things I've learned going forward too. And these videos are free, so I just want to add some value to you and hopefully you're encouraged today. So what I want to just spend a few minutes talking to you about today is leadership and why we need leadership within ourselves to grow our own leadership capacities, and we need leadership in our field. So let me kind of define first of all what leadership is. So there's 4 characteristics of leadership that I operate in. So I'm going to share these with you, and you get to filter these out and consider them for yourselves. So number 1, a leadership is influence. Leadership is influence. So the person who has leadership influences other people and influences organizations. Let me give you a quick example. A really good friend of mine who died in the last year or so, a guy named Gene. Gene was a psychologist, and he and I worked together at a local community mental health agency. So there's frequently in our weekly department meetings when the therapist would sit around the table in the conference room, and the supervisor would come in, and the supervisor would have an agenda and would just kind of plow through the agenda. And nobody really would say anything in response to the supervisor. We'd all just kind of look at each other, looking forward to the meeting ending and getting back to do what we were getting paid to do. That wasn't until Gene Harris would speak up. And when Gene would speak up, the meeting would stop, everybody would turn to Gene, and whatever Gene had to say, we all tended to nod our head and agree with his wisdom, and we would then have a discussion around what Gene had said. So Gene had influence. He had more influence than the person who had the position of leadership. Gene was a leader in that organization, in that department. So the first thing is that leaders have influence. The second thing is that leaders take something that doesn't exist and causes it to exist, or leaders take something that does exist and they make it better. Okay, so for example, probably all of you or many of you who are in the private practice realm probably started your private practice. So at some point, you just had an idea of wanting to start a private practice, what you wanted it to be like, what the values you wanted to put into your private practice, and you took that idea and now you've worked really hard and you've created an organization. You created the dream. You've taken the idea that you had and it's become a reality. So you have been shown leadership. If that's been you, you've shown some leadership. You've taken an idea and you've created something out of it. Leaders can also take something that isn't really running well and cause it to grow simply because of their influence. So the third thing that leaders are and leaders do is leaders add value to other people. Leaders don't think of it of just themselves. Leaders think of other people and think frequently, how can I just add value to people and help other people be better? Leaders are other-centered. And lastly, developing leadership is an inside job. One of the things I've learned is that most people have skills, outward skills to lead and to manage. That doesn't make them a leader. A leader is somebody who is developing themselves on the inside. And when they have developed themselves on the inside, then it flows out through their outward behavior and their attitude and their relationships. So leadership is an inside job. So those are 4 things I think of when I think of leadership. In future videos, I hope to be able to elaborate on some of those and offer some other ideas. Love to have your comments below and any other thoughts or questions you may have that I may be able to address in the leadership or personal growth realm, and I'll address that in a future video. Thank you so much. Hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.